It's your girl, Professor Cinephile, and I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Um, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. 2024 was such a transformative year for me, and there were so many wonderful and amazing things that happened. And, there were some difficulties, but one of the things, and I talked about this in a previous video, is that I've begun writing reviews for a website, and and I'm so sorry, y'all, that has kind of taken away from me doing this. But one of the things I am recommitting to doing in 2025 is making sure that I am able to come here and give you my reviews. And so there's a lot of films that I see, and I'm going to talk about them. I'm just going to talk about them more here because I don't always get to write about them on the other site. So I'm here. I'm back. I'm glad that you're here. I hope your 2025 is going to be great. I hope that we're going to get some great films this year that we can talk about, some films that are going to have a great impact on us. And yeah, so let's get into it. Today, I'm going to be talking about Amber Alert, a new film on Hulu. It is a thriller and it stars Tyler James Williams, and it stars Hayden Panettiere. You might remember her from Heroes, that popular show. Wow, Heroes came out a long time ago. And then he is on the popular show Abbott Elementary, and he's done some other. You may also remember him from Everybody Hates Chris when he was a child. Okay, so we've got two kind of child stars who have grown up and now they're doing grown people things. Spoiler alert, I am going to talk about things that happen in this film. So if you don't want to have this film spoiled, although I don't think it can be spoiled, you want to stop right here, come back, and check me out after you finish watching. Okay. This film is awful. I gotta tell you off the bat, Amber Alert is one of the worst films I've seen in many years. Okay. And I feel so bad because I actually really love Tyler. I love him as an actor. I think that, he's growing to me. Like I think that there's something about, his path of maturity that's been really awesome to watch, going from a kid star and consistently working, and now as an adult, he's doing his thing. I do love him as an actor, but this film is terrible. It's so funny. I didn't even recognize Hayden Panettiere. So a lot of times I'll watch films and not like see who's gonna be in it or whatever. Don't ask. But I was just like, oh, I had to go back and see like who is this? Because she was not good at all. Oh my goodness, y'all, she's not good at all. Like she's not a good actress. All right, so let's talk about the acting. First, the acting across the board was subpar. Everybody was terrible in this film. Nobody was convincing. Nobody seemed to understand their motivation. Nobody seemed to really understand who their characters were. And that's part because the characters were not very well developed. I'm telling you, there were more plot holes in this film than I can't even count. Like I can't even count. Um, the acting is just, do you know where you're standing? Do you know where you are? Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know what you're talking about? Because we can't tell because you're not bringing any of that to this film at all, at all. And here's the thing. I love a good thriller. I love a good horror film. I love horror. I love a good thriller. I love a good kind of psychological. I love a good chase, right? I love one of those things. But this was terrible. All right. So what is the premise of the film? The premise of the film is that his character is he's a ride share driver, like one of the companies. I'm not going to name them here, but he gives people rides through the app and things like that. She has somewhere that she needs to get to, and the one that she ordered messed up or whatever. So she begs him to just take her across, to this place that she has to be. He's off the clock, but he does it anyway. He's a dad. He's trying to get back to his kid because he's been messing up, and his baby mama is all like, you suck. And, well, it's a whole thing, right? So they end up in a car together. While they're there, an Amber Alert goes out because a young girl was missing, was stolen from in front of her mom in a playground, everything like that. So the Amber Alert is missing. First of all, they issued an Amber Alert with no license plate. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, and I don't want to get into too much about the weeds about this, but you may or may not know I also co-host a podcast called Black Girl Missing, and I know a little bit about what happens when children go missing, and um, they just made up it for them for the film to be called Amber Alert. You would think that they would dig more into the Amber Alert process and maybe some of the issues with it. Not vibes. They're like, hey, we're just going to talk about this. It's just going to be vibes. We don't actually need accuracy, and this doesn't actually need to make any sense. We're going with vibes. It's all good. So anyway, an Amber Alert goes out, and they end up finding a car that they believe is the person who stole them. And so they start following this car and all this stuff like that. And it's a whole twist and turn thing that results in them ending up at his house where he does have the girl there, and it's apparent that he's done this to other girls and all this other stuff like that. Okay, cool. On the surface, this actually could have been a really great film. There could have been an exploration of missing white girl and missing white woman syndrome, and how the entire world stops because a little white girl goes missing, right? They could have talked more about it, especially because Tyler is black and Hayden is white. They could have brought in something there to have some kind of commentary on that, right? I think they missed an opportunity to do that. Um, it could have been something about, child predators, right? This is a major issue in the United States. Okay, they just uncovered a Telegram group with over 70,000 men who were discussing and sharing ways to sexually assault their wives, daughters, girlfriends, sisters, all these disgusting things. This happens, right? There could have been stronger commentary about that, right? Could have been something about the gig economy, right? The fact that this man is trying to do well by his son, and is feeling like he's down and out, and he's driving this ride share to try to make whatever money he can. There could have been a little more commentary about that, right? And how that kind of put him in this situation. None of that happened. None of that happened, right? And that's the marker of a good story, when you can bring in these other themes and kind of tie them together in this car chase, right? So they didn't do that. The other thing about this is that none of this made logical sense. Somehow she got this man's phone number. We don't know how she got this man's phone number. The guy in the car, they had a whole interaction. We don't know how she got the phone number. The police didn't give her the number. We don't know how she got the phone number. So she's calling this man. Why are you calling this man instead of calling the police? Why are you not talking to the police? There were so many times, and I'm an abolitionist, so I don't actually care about that. But it's like, all right, listen, white lady, why are you not weaponizing the police like you all normally do? Like this, if there's any time for a white woman to weaponize the police, this was the time. Instead, she falls back. Kind of like, hey, I was talking to the police. Now I'm not talking to the police. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to go rogue. I'm going to go rogue. Like, no. Absolutely nothing at all realistic about this film. None of it made sense. None of the dots connected. It was a terrible, awful film. Do not watch it. Hate watch it if you want. Hate watch it if you want to be like, yep, Professor Cinephile was right. Like, this is awful. But you actually don't need to do that. Um, this is like an hour and change of your life that you will never get back. I did this so that you don't have to do this. You do not have to subject yourself to watching Amber Alert. I If you don't listen to anything else I say to start this year off, hear me when I say, do not watch Amber Alert. It is absolutely terrible. All right, that's all I got to say. Welcome back, 2025. We're going to get back into this. We're going to get more film reviews. I'm going to come more consistently, and my goal is at least once a week to bring you more films. And I love you all so much. Share this, like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.